Good morning, students. This is your head teacher, Mr. Hildrew, with your welcome back assembly for the academic year 2021 to 2022. I was really looking forward to seeing you all back in the Academy Hall for your assemblies this week, but unfortunately, due to some delays due to COVID, the hall won't be back in action for another couple of weeks yet. So you'll have to wait for that pleasure for a couple of weeks, but I will look forward to seeing you in your assemblies very, very soon. In the meantime, just a short video from me to welcome you all back, run through some of the key expectations for the year, things that have changed and things that you need to know, and just to remind you of our priorities for this year and the way that you can help to contribute to them. So first up, what's new since you were last here in the summer? Well, first of all, some changes to the buildings. You will note that the middle section of the Stuart and Lancaster House building is now back in action, newly refreshed, brand new classrooms in there, whereas the Stuart House end of the building is now being refurbished. So you'll see the whole Stuart House end of the building is now out of bounds, it's fenced off, and you must please stay away from that area for your own health and safety. We anticipate that that work will take until about February or March of next year, and then brand new classrooms will be open for humanities in that building, all air conditioned, all lovely, and a brand new Stuart House green room will be open as well. So lots to look forward to there, but it will just take a little while to get that work done. And the reason I'm giving you a video today is because the Academy Hall has been refurbished again. The floor has been completed there, but a slight delay means that work won't quite be finished until a couple of weeks into term, and then the hall will be back in action. You can still use the hall, but it's just we can't quite fit an assembly in at the moment while the remainder of the work is being completed. We've got some new staff appointments, so staff who have already been at the Academy in new roles and new staff joining us. So we of course congratulate Mrs. Hain, who is taking over as head of Hanover House, and wish her every success in the leadership of Hanover. We now have Miss Tucker and Miss Hodge, who are job sharing the Director of Faculty role for Art, Design and Technology, and looking forward to what they'll be doing with art, design, technology, food and so on and so forth. Mr. Sharp has taken over as the leader of geography due to Mrs. Haynes' promotion, and Mrs. Crocker has taken on leadership of PSHE and RSE, which is personal, social and health education and relationships and sex education, and she'll be developing that area of our work, which is so important to us over the course of this year. And we welcome a new colleague to the Academy. Mr. Bigwood is joining us as our Chief Operating Officer, and that role is everything that is not teaching. So all of the site development, health and safety, fire drills, lockdown drills, all those things you will get to know Mr. Bigwood involving. We also have some other new colleagues joining us in various roles across the Academy. So we welcome Mr. Senior, Mr. Newell and Mr. Maloney, who are joining us in the Science Department. We welcome Miss Homewood and Miss Burge, who are joining us in the English department. Mr. Penn is joining us as an RE teacher. Miss Davis and Miss Reed are joining us in the History department. Miss Brockington is joining us in Art and Design. Miss Burnham in Languages, and Mrs. Chaplin joins us in the Library. So a warm welcome to those colleagues who will settle in very quickly, I'm sure, to Churchill Academy in Sixth Form. And of course, as students, we look forward to you giving them a nice warm welcome as well. Quick COVID update for you. We expect this year, we hope, to be less disrupted than the previous 2 years have been, but the virus is very much still with us and very much still out there. So just a reminder that although we have removed many of the restrictions that were in place last year, the virus is still there, and it's very important that we are all still very cautious and that we look after one another and ourselves. The crucial element to this is if you have any of the symptoms, so a new and persistent cough, a high temperature, and a loss of or change in your sense of taste or smell, it's really important that you self-isolate and take a PCR test to check whether or not you've got COVID. If you do have COVID or you test positive, it's absolutely essential that you isolate so that you do not spread that virus to anybody else. However, a change this year is that if you have been in contact with someone with COVID and you are under the age of 18 and a half, then you do not need to self-isolate. So we won't be sending home huge numbers of students if we get a positive case in school like we had to do last year. You should go and get a PCR test if you've been in contact, but there's no need to self-isolate while you're waiting for the result of that test. So that should mean, hopefully, a great deal more attendance at school and a great deal less remote learning for students. So that'll be really positive. Another change is that it's the NHS that will advise you if you've been in contact. So the school will no longer be doing that contact tracing. That is all now the responsibility of the NHS. You'll have all seen the COVID testing, and hopefully you'll have done your COVID test as you come back into school today or this week. And home testing will resume as well, so you'll be issued with new home test kits at some point during this first week or so in school. And that home testing will continue throughout September, and we are told by the government that they will then review that at the end of September to decide whether home testing needs to continue. And that's really important, just to make sure that you don't have the virus and you don't bring it into school without realizing, because of course you can carry the virus without any symptoms. So thank you as ever for your cooperation with all of these strange procedures that we now have in place because of the coronavirus pandemic. Social areas, as I announced last year, social areas remain in year group areas. So you'll see those listed here, and it's absolutely essential that you stick to your zone so that we can make sure that everyone is where they need to be at break time and lunchtime. So just take a look at this slide and make sure that you know where you're supposed to be for break and lunch, and where you're supposed to be getting your food from during those times. Hopefully that's all clear, and this will be displayed on the video screens around school so that you can remind yourselves as well. Remind you of the arrangements for the end of school as well, if you're getting the bus at the end of school. If you're on the first run buses, you go straight to the coach loop. The W buses, W1, W2, W3 and W4, you can go to Windsor to wait for the first run to depart. It's absolutely fine to wait on the concourse if that's more convenient for you in the fresh air. But if it is raining or wet, you've got those indoor areas for you too. And if you're on the second run of buses, please can we ask you to go to either Lancaster Lounge or the Lancaster Playground at the back of Lancaster Lounge. Do not go to the coach loop because it overcrowds things. And one other reminder for you, please, if your bus is not leaving straight away, it's essential that you stay on site so that we know where you are in case there are any issues. Please don't leave the site if you are catching a bus. Make sure you stay on the Academy site. If you're walking home or you're getting a lift, then of course you can go straight home, or you can go and get your lift immediately. That's not a problem at all. Okay, a reminder then of our purpose and our vision and why we're here at all at Churchill Academy in Sixth Form. So our purpose is to inspire and enable young people to make a positive difference. And I'm going to be talking in a moment about some of the ways you can make a positive difference this year. And it's important that we set no limits on what we can achieve. Those are limits set by other people or limits that you might have for yourself. What you believe is possible is the most important thing in terms of what you might be achieving this year, and how you can engage your effort to help you make those dreams come true is something that we as a school are absolutely determined to try and support for you. And as you know, everything we do at Churchill is governed by our three values of kindness, curiosity and determination. And we expect everybody, our students, our staff, everybody in the Academy to demonstrate those values at every available opportunity. So in terms of that positive difference that you can make, we have several kind of key priorities this year, but one that's really, really important to us this year is the inclusion and diversity agenda. Now, inclusion means that everybody is welcome, everybody belongs, no matter who they are, where they come from, or how they identify. And every member of the Academy needs to feel that they belong as a member of Churchill Academy in Sixth Form. That means, and I shouldn't need to say this, but I will, that there is no place at Churchill for racism, for sexual harassment, for discrimination or prejudice of any kind. It is incumbent on every single one of you and every single one of us to make sure that everybody feels welcome at Churchill Academy in Sixth Form. You all need to make that effort to ensure that everything that you're doing makes everybody else's day better. And by showing that value of kindness and making sure that you're welcoming every member of the Academy, we will all feel better about our experiences and our day-to-day lives at Churchill. And that will lead to us learning better, us learning more effectively, because we know that we learn more when we feel safe, when we feel that we belong, when we feel comfortable. So what we're expecting is for every single member of the Academy to make sure that you are doing things that make other people feel welcome and feel that they belong, being as positive as possible about our Academy community. It doesn't just happen by accident. It's the result of a great deal of work, not just by the teachers, but by every single student. And we all have a responsibility to make sure that we are upholding those values. So I look forward to your help with that and what you will achieve as students in leading this really, really important part of our work. The second area where you can make a positive difference over this year is in our agenda to improve the sustainability of our Academy. We have an ambition to become a carbon neutral school so that we have no impact on the carbon budget of the globe. And we're only going to achieve that if we can reduce waste, improve efficiency, and look after the beautiful grounds and the wonderful facilities that we have here at Churchill. And again, every single one of you has a responsibility to ensure that we are looking after our environment by reducing our waste, improving our efficiency, and looking after our facilities and grounds. And again, I'm really looking forward to what you as students can achieve alongside the staff as part of that sustainability agenda. And finally, of course, we're here to learn. That's the most important reason why we're here at Churchill Academy in Sixth Form. We want you to learn as much as possible, to make as much progress as you can. And that means making the most of every single minute of every single hour of every single day that you're here at school. So those values include the belief in the value of determined and consistent effort. We're expecting you to show a hunger to learn new things and to challenge yourselves to go beyond your comfort zone. There will be difficulties along the way, and it's really important that all of us view setbacks and mistakes as opportunities to learn and grow. They do not define us. Any mistakes that we make are opportunities to learn how to do things better the next time. And therefore, it's really important that you look for and respond to feedback on your learning so that you can do better. And as part of our value of kindness, it's not just about your own success. We expect you to encourage others to succeed too, and to celebrate their success as much as your own. Because if we all work together, then we will succeed even more. So that concludes my remarks, my opening assembly. I look forward to seeing you all around and about the Academy over this coming week, and then, of course, over the rest of this academic year. Welcome back. It's great to see you all, and I will now hand you back to your teachers who will begin your lesson. Thank you and goodbye.